Good morning, good morning. Just wanted to make sure you guys can hear me okay. So, okay.
Darren is an effective communicator with strong team collaboration skills. He's a business expert with a focus on youth development, a skilled public speaker who's delivered speeches in local and international arenas. Darren is well known in the Bahamas and throughout the Caribbean as an energetic, charismatic host who can captivate an audience. Darren is employed at BTC as Senior Manager of Direct Sales, Sales Effectiveness, and Fixed Products.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the fourth session of our Innovation Conference Series 2020. Amazing real-world business solutions brought to you by BTC Business, Cable and Wireless Business, and Flow Business. Last week, we featured small business owner Jamil Lightbourne from Cheesecake Heaven. Jamil gave great insights on how he started his business and how he overcame challenges to become the successful small business owner that he is today. We were privileged to listen to international speaker David Weintraub, who shared key nuggets on how to start and develop a successful YouTube channel. David was simply amazing. Last week, we also got the opportunity to hear a phenomenal presentation from Joya Cousins, who transitioned from the corporate world to start her own business as a fine artist. Joya shared her success as a small business owner and how she reinvented herself to remain relevant. Today, we have a wonderful lineup for you, and we have launched an exciting new customer value proposition for all of our small business owners. Our business team is in the house to share the good news and these fantastic new products. We will hear from international speaker Greene, owner of Gigi Brows in Atlanta, Georgia. Professionally known as Gigi, she's Atlanta's prominent celebrity makeup artist and eyebrow definition expert. Gigi was trained under Anastasia of Beverly Hills in LA and Kelly Baker Brows. Some of the reality shows and movies that she has worked on include The Braxton's Family Values, Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, Cutting into the ATL, The Duff, The Nice Guys, and Almost Christmas. You'll also have the opportunity to hear from our very own Latoya Westbrooks, who's of Bahamian heritage. Latoya is a senior user experience researcher at Facebook. In addition to her role at Facebook, she's the principal consultant and founder of Westbrooks Consulting Group Incorporated. Her company was created to teach entrepreneurs that the foundation of their business is equally as important as the products and services they provide. Westbrooks Consulting Group was designed to coach small businesses into developing a better business and, most importantly, a winning business. This week, I am pleased to have with me Mr. Eric Carey, Executive Director of the Bahamas National Trust in studio. This gentleman and his team have totally transformed the National Trust over the last few years. This is indeed an exciting lineup. So I would say, get ready for the exciting 2 hours with us. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the man who's been in studio, physically in studio and also virtually in studio with me, help me welcome Mr. Andre Knowles, our BTC business lead. Andre.
Hey, good morning, Darren, and good morning to all of our viewers. Welcome to week 4 of our second annual BTC Innovation Conference. You know, for the past 3 weeks, we have been inspired by many great speakers on our program, fellow Bahamian small businesses, our regional entrepreneurs, and of course, our international speakers. And, you know, each of these speakers provided insight into how they are managing and in some cases flourishing in these challenging times. Their stories are certainly truly inspirational. You know, words like passion and perseverance really hit home to me, and I'm sure for you as well. These are difficult times, and we all need, you know, some hints and guidance on what is working and what is not. I encourage you to engage with submitting questions online so you can maximize your innovation experience. You know, in the past 3 weeks, if the past 3 weeks are any indication of today's show, I'm sure we are in for another fantastic show. You know, I'm really looking forward to listening to Latoya Westbrooks, Greene, and certainly Eric Carey. So get ready for an exciting show. Back to you, Darren.
Thank you so much, Andre. And in studio today, I have, of course, we would have had Naja with us for the last 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken. It's been going on for quite some time. It's been exciting. But, you know, I have my old schoolmate here, my personal friend as well, Miss Tennille Simmons. And Tennille, I've been told that you've been up to good work.
Good work.
Good work. Amazing work. And so we have this, you know, new CVP for our small businesses that's been present. And Naja whispered into my ear that you were behind the scenes doing some amazing engineering. And, you know, I've been listening to Andre, I've been listening to Naja, I've been listening to Jensen Sylvester in Barbados. And this whole discussion about, you know, small businesses accounting for about 91 to 96% of, businesses in the country. You know, tell us what you have up.
Oh my goodness. It's been an amazing few months. Actually, last year when we launched the first innovation conference, we were so inspired by the response. We were so inspired by the type of customers that came out, and we started to understand what were some of the needs. And just remember that was right after one of the major hurricanes, Dorian. And so this year, what we said that we wanted to do was ensure that we had something that was just mind-blowing for our customers. And the Dorian, along with the pandemic, have sparked what we called providing some of the amazing solutions and bundles that are really tailored towards what those customers were saying that they needed at the time, and then also what we've seen that they do need now. So we took a deep look at understanding who our customers are, what services they had, and what is it that we can bundle that would be real solutions, not just, taking products and saying, hey, putting something together and say, you have to take this and you may use it or not, but actually taking products that we know is going to help them move into what we call this whole digital world that we're now in.
So, Andre, I see we still have you on the call. Jensen spoke about this, you spoke about this. And as I look on the screen, you have this amazing glow. What is this glow about, Andre?
I mean, I think Tennille said it all. We are coming up, or we came up with a set of packages that are unbelievable for the small business community. And it's in celebration, obviously, of Small Business Month. So this CVP, which is what we call our customer value proposition. I mean, I'm sure, and I don't want to steal anybody's thunder because, Tennille and Naja are the folks who are driving this. Some of the packages are so groundbreaking that it's truly unbelievable. So as you go into the show, and I'm sure Tennille will provide a whole lot more hints. What we're providing now is absolutely fantastic, and I'm sure that we're going to have an excellent response from our customer base, and we're really looking forward to putting this out there in the community so they are allowed to flourish themselves in terms of their businesses as well.
Naja, you and Tennille, you all have dragged me out of my bed in terms of, I remember that one Saturday we were at the head office, BTC head office, just in the planning stages for this particular conference. And really and truly, I've seen your passion towards small businesses. This is your area. How does this make you feel? And what do you say to your customers that are out there listening right now?
Well, actually, I'm excited, obviously. I'm very excited for what we're going to bring to our customers. But I was really, really moved by, like you say, it took the effort of a whole team. It was really the effort of the whole team. And to sit around the table and listen to all the discussions and hear just how passionate everybody who was on the team was about just making sure our customers had what they need, making sure that we knew what they were saying. So everybody was asking questions about what are the customers' needs are. That was always the focal point. And so to see it come to this point and to see what we were able to get approved and what we were able to build and what our customers are going to experience, it makes me very happy and very excited and very pleased to have had a part in that.
Excellent. And I know, Tennille, you're going to tell us a bit more about what's on the agenda. So yes. I'm going to turn it over to you without any delay.
Okay. So like I said, we looked at what was happening. We looked at who our customers were and where they needed help. And really and truly, it was a no-brainer. The biggest thing that our customers need right now is powerful connectivity. And we knew that was something that we had no problem of providing. I must say it was definitely a major effort. We had a cross-functional team internally that came together, all stakeholders that came together. And initially, when we started talking about some of what we call the disruptive speeds that we wanted to include in these packages, there was hesitation. And the reason for that is a lot of our small business customers, especially our small business portfolio, what we was working with, we found that our small business customers found themselves in between. So our consumer side had, launched amazing fiber speeds as they reinvented themselves with Flow Evo. And so they came up with great packages for the residential team. And so our small business customers obviously found those to be attractive. But then when we looked at our portfolio, we had a really dense availability of enterprise solutions. So now our small business customers were between residential and enterprise solutions. And we knew that they needed more connectivity. They needed powerful connectivity. We had fiber products. We had fiber packages, but we didn't have bundles.
Yeah.
And so when we started to look at the bundles and what we were going to offer them, we started to say, hey, along with just offering or along with going with the bundles, we wanted to bring some sort of commitment to them. We wanted to bring some sort of pledge. And so we stuck on 3 pillars. And we said that 1, we wanted to provide them with always having more value. So our bundles, while they're powerful, they're simple. They're simple to sell, they're simple to understand, and they're simple to deploy. And that was important. And then we said that we also wanted our customers to always be connected. And that was the catalyst for the type of connectivity and speeds that we had, that we've packed inside the bundles. And then finally, always by your side. While this is true for what we do today in terms of being with our customers, having dedicated account managers or what we call dedicated small business partners, we wanted to take that up another level. And so we wanted to make sure that we have a dedicated line to channel those requests or queries when it comes to being interested in what we have to offer. And then also having a dedicated team to support our small businesses, because that is powerful. When we talk about the support for a residential customer versus a small business, it's very different. You know, that small business, they have to continue going on. They have to always be connected because that's the bloodline of how they make their money. And so we wanted to make sure that we had the support there. And so the 3rd pillar was always by your side. And so if you take a look at how the bundles are constructed, I'm so happy to say we have bundles.
You're glowing.
I'm so happy. I'm so excited about it. And I think one of the communications I had shared with Naja, I think it was 11 o'clock at night, I saw the first teaser of our TV ad. And just to see it coming together is just, it just brings you so much delight because you've been working on it, you've been tooling on it. And sometimes you kind of, you're jaded because you're behind the scenes, you're in the mix, you know, I say you're in a box. And when you start to see it come to fruition, it's just, you know, you're happy. And to know that when you start to see it, I mean, it's a no-brainer. We have packages starting at $99 for our small business customers. And so we've packed in fiber speeds that are blazing up to 600 megs a small business customer can get to power up their business. And that's bundled with mobile. And the reason we bundled it with mobile was because we looked at our customer base. And when we started to see what our customers already had, fixed was nothing that we wanted to consider as part of our bundle because of what they already had. These customers, we have a 90% penetration of fixed services. So when we looked at it, we said mobile is a no-brainer, you know? And then we also wanted to include handset credit. So we have where customers, they're coming in for these bundles, they have up to $400 that they can use towards a new device. So they can get 2 devices or they can get a high-end devices, whatever it is that they need, but they have that at their leisure. And of course, the static IP address is something that we know that they need because it provides a greater sense of security when they're using their broadband. And then also it's a dedicated service for them connected with their broadband.
You know, my specialty is residential. And
I know.
I'm looking at it from a residential product manager standpoint. And I'm thinking, this is powerful.
Yes.
This is amazing.
Yes.
Especially the way, you know, it's a hybrid between mobile as well as fixed services for business customers. This is amazing.
Yes, yes. And I think it's so simple to understand, so simple to sell, like I said. But what I also look at it as, it's also stackable, right? And so there's even more that we want to add to these bundles. And I think it's amazing in the way it is now. Very simple 3 packages that we have here, but it's also stackable in where we want to take it. And so that's another layer that we have in the pipeline for our customers. So I'm so happy for our viewers, our virtual viewers who are tuning in, that they have a firsthand look at what it is that, you know, what we can offer to them.
And you know, what I like about what I'm seeing here, Tennille, and you could tell us a bit more about this, is the handset credit.
Oh, yes.
Because the handset credit is just really an important thing. You know, the small businesses, people are on the move, they're going, you know, their devices get beat up after a while. You know, Tennille, you work in telecoms and I've seen your device sometimes being a product manager. You know, the handset credit is so essential.
It is very essential. If you take a look at some of the things that some of the small businesses have had to do just in this pandemic is pivot. And so their handset is really their lifeblood, so their point of sale system they're using from their handset, communicating to their customers and their customers communicating to them, they're using from their handset when you talk about concierge service or delivery service. So the handset was a major component of these bundles that we wanted to ensure was there.
And in this pandemic, the fact that curbside is everything, concierge is everything for small businesses. It is so essential now for your handset to be able to be used as a credit card,
Yes, absolutely.
I don't know what you
One
call
of
it.
the machines, so it's part of the machines that take all your credit cards or your digital payments.
Digital payments.
And you could connect it in there. Some of the local banks, they offer it as part of getting a business account.
Yeah.
And some persons, they can pretty much get it on their own. But it's powerful that you've said that, because along with just the handset, having the handset without a plan is absolutely, it doesn't mean anything. And so the plan is just as important, and having a plan that's always connected, not a prepaid plan. And I'm not knocking my prepaid team, but business customers, having a postpaid plan that's always connected. That we also offer with the handset credit, what we call a lifetime handset discount.
Oh, come on, talk to me more about this. Lifetime is key. It's essential.
Lifetime is key. So as part of being a business customer, when you get a handset, part of the bundle, yes, you get a credit towards a new device. But if you need a handset throughout the life of being a business customer for us, you have handset credit or a handset discount for the life or the duration of being a customer. Our business customers would never pay the same price a retail customer or a customer who just walks into the mall for a device. There's always discounts that we have built in.
So, Tennille, let me ask you a question. So you have a business customer at this particular point that might have mobile services with you, but might have fixed services with a competitor. They would have had mobile services, they've had the 422 numbers or the 357 numbers. They've been around from my father was around. What do we say to those customers who might now want to take that mobile service that they have and take on one of these particular bundles here?
What we say is come on down. Okay.
Bring it on.
Bring it on, because we now have something to serve every part of your journey as a business person. So yes, your mobile was with us, but what about your business, your operations? How are you running that? You need a powerful connectivity. If you have staff in there, you need a powerful connectivity. If you're talking about now moving everything to online, how are you taking those orders? How are you managing that transaction? My colleague on the first episode came in and talked about security, Tyrone. So you need a powerful connectivity in order to build on the security that you're going to be putting there.
All the software, the
all
applications.
All of that, yes. And so now you could bring it all in and get a bundle. So why pay, some customers, they may be paying $60, $100 for just mobile alone. We have a plan that's $100 that gives you connectivity, the mobile, and then also your handset credit if you need a handset credit, and then also a lifetime discount for handsets. It's a no-brainer.
So Tennille, talk to me about this essential package here. And I'm looking at the broadband speeds. I'm looking at the 10 gigs on mobile data. What are the broadband speeds in each one of your packages so that our viewers can understand and probably understand the difference and the impact of speeds that they might want to, take on based on the needs of their company?
Right. And it's one thing that we spoke to our team about just recently in our training is understanding the needs of the business, because that's how you're able to make sure that you provide the right solution. We're in the business of providing solutions, not just selling. And so as we talk to our customers, our first package is what we call is essential. It's a starter pack. So, it's a small company. You're just starting out. You need something that's reliable, but you don't need something that's robust. And so our essential package gives you 30 megs download and 10 megs upload. Okay. So it's important to understand the needs of a business. So for me, if I'm talking to, let's say, a design agency, that's very heavy on downloading and very heavy on uploading because of the nature of their business, the essential pack is not something that I would offer just because it's just a starter. It's giving you 30 megs, and it's something that's what I call very competitive because it's starting out at 30 meg just based on what's in market. I would offer a 200 meg download, which is the advance. Nice. And the 200 meg download also gives you 50 upload, which I feel, and the customer, just given the nature of the business, if it's a design company, can take on everything that the business is doing, because you have a powerful 200 meg speeds just download. Now, if it's something that's a little bit more than you need, then our superior pack, which is the Elite, gives you 600 meg download. And I must say, these speeds are something that have never been offered in the small business catalog, in the small business offering. It's you can't find it until now.
And you know what I think? I look at the Elite package, and what hits home for me is this Wi-Fi hotspot.
Yes.
You know, you look at it, there's about a $51 difference. I'm never great at math, but there's about a 50, I mean, you know that from when we were in high school. There's a $51 difference, I think, between the Essential and Advanced. And based on, you know, that $50 difference is really tucked directly into the handset credit itself. So you're winning again.
You're winning, exactly.
But this Wi-Fi hotspot with 5 gigs, tell us more about that.
It is amazing. We always knew that our Wi-Fi hotspot, or what we in turn speak to it as a dongle, we always knew that it was a hot seller. Always was a hot seller. It's pretty much taking around your own connectivity. And I am so sorry I didn't bring it with me, but it just looks like a USB drive.
I have one.
Very simple.
And I think up to how many people can connect to the dongle?
Up to 10 persons can connect.
So let me break this down. I get 600 megs.
Yes.
Download.
Yes.
50 megs. Upload. Plus, I get 20 gigs
of data in your plan.
In my plan, on my mobile plan.
Yes.
Right? Which is postpaid.
Yes.
Right? So with this $229, I roll up to BTC. I pay $229 for the month. I'm going to get amazing fire speeds in my broadband, which means no buffering whatsoever. Then I'm going to get 20 gigs, which means I can take all of my team calls, I can take all of my Skype calls, and I don't have to worry about any overage. And then on top of that, because I'm currently using a bubbler, I can get $400 towards my new, Note.
Yes.
We
have the S20 now.
The
that
S20
just launched.
is out.
The S20, or the Note 10, the Note 20.
The Note 20. So that I can get the new Note 20 or the S20 and take or the iPhone 12 that's probably soon going to be out, and just slash $400 off that completely.
Yes.
And I can get a Wi-Fi hotspot where up to 10 people within my pop-up shop business. You know, if I'm
or
over
if you
there,
want to go, because we know you always going somewhere.
Precisely.
You always on the go.
So the traffic police will probably be very upset at me. But should you need to use your computer while on the traffic light, God forbid, this is just a state of emergency, or pull on the side of the road, you can plug this in. And the other 6 people in your car, who could be your kids going to virtual school, could be, this is powerful.
This is.
Bring Andre. Andre, you have been up to some, you have been up to some. You've been telling me this for 3 weeks now, 4 weeks now, this being the 4th week. And this is amazing. This is fixed services and mobile services converging together with the potential of add-ons. And certain, we're going to hear more about add-ons as well.
Absolutely.
Because you can probably spend $149 if you're simply in the middle, right, Nasha? But you might need some additional things. To add on to your current package.
Absolutely.
I want to really commend you all for this, because I think this is the answer. So many business customers have been taking on residential products because they can't find something ideally geared towards them. And you don't want to disenfranchise them. You want to make certain that the cost is really something that's within line, based on their needs and based on the ecosystem of their business. And I think we've hit the nail on the head. Tennille, team, congratulations on this. I mean, Andre, what else do we say? What do we say to the customers that are out there that's listening? And also for some of our other markets that's listening. I mean, go and tell all of the flow markets, get on board with this amazing work.
Absolutely. Look, I could not, be so much more pleased than what we are offering right now. And the great thing is, whilst we're coming to the market with some, the right products, the right price, and certainly the bandwidth that'll just blow you away. Part of this also that, as Tennille explained, is what we call a business class service. We are upping our game on how we are treating our small to medium business customers. And that is going to be crucial. So it's not only, so if you put all of these things together, I mean, the customer value proposition is absolutely fantastic. As Naja said, it's not only the three of us, it's a full team effort that was behind this, and makes me so proud to certainly be involved in all of this, and really looking forward to it with these fantastic products and services.
And I'll tell you about business partners. I went to take a friend of mine to the doctor yesterday, and I saw one of my colleagues from small, medium business section of the company. And I said, "Are you okay? Is everything all right?" She said, "Oh, no, I'm fine. I just came in to check on one of my clients." And I'm thinking, healthcare is so important at this point, making sure that we're able to get all of our small, medium businesses to maximize the value that they're getting from our company. And also she was providing more time, more speed, more solutions. So Tennille, I know I got so excited and I just kind of drived in. Do you have anything else to present to us? You do.
Well, I think that was really the crux of it, right? And I think it's a lot in itself. You spoke briefly about add-ons, and add-ons is something that we definitely took into consideration.
We have a slide on add-ons?
Well, we don't have a slide on add-ons, but I could speak to it.
Speak to it, because I want to add some things on.
Yeah, so in terms of add-ons, we kind of changed the model in which you would think about the business model, that is, in terms of adding on solutions. When you think about add-ons, you think about add-ons where it's really at cost, right? There's no savings. But we changed it up and we said, hey, if you want to add on, instead of paying what the cost is, we're going to discount it. So first thing we looked at was a fixed line. If it is for the type of business that you have, it may be, small accounting firm, a small legal firm, whatever it is. If you need a phone line in your business, instead of paying what our normal price is for a fixed line service, which is $37, you can add it on for just $20. So you can add it on, that's almost a 50% discount, 47% to be exact. And then you could also add on TV. If the type of business requires that you have a foyer and you need some sort of weight room, a dental office, you need some sort of kids channels while they wait, you can add on a TV package. Our TV package starts at just $39.
And people, if you have a waiting room, please don't have me sitting in your waiting room with nothing to watch or nothing to listen to. So this is indeed necessary.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Wow. So, I mean, I am ecstatic. I wish I was a part of this particular process. The small business owners that are out there, get on board.
Yes.
Come and find out. Check out our business section, btcbahamas.com. Send them a message. Call your business partner. Tell them that you heard about these things and these add-ons and these new bundles, and bundle up.
Yeah, bundle up. Let me just say too.
There you go.
When you say call, right? We've also been listening to our customers, our small business customers, so we know how important they are. So we don't want them to be in a queue waiting for someone to answer. So we have a dedicated number for them.
Come on now, give us that number.
So we know how important they are. Our number is 302-7200. 302-7200. You call that line, somebody will answer you and will give you the information, and we'll book an appointment for consultation, which is free. And again, like our business partners come to you.
To you.
You don't have to come to us. You book an appointment, we come to you and we give you the consultation so you can understand what it is that you need, what we have that can solve the problems that you may be.
There you go. So Naja, any final words on top of what you've already said just now? And then I'm going to go over to Tennille for her final words as well.
Yeah, I'm again, I just can't help but being very excited right now.
You're glowing.
I'm just over the moon. And my team is behind the scenes. They're all buzzing to me and telling me they can't wait to go. Can we go? Can we go? Yeah. And so we're doing this today. We're looking forward for an amazing response, and we're ready for it.
Excellent.
Absolutely.
And Tennille, over to you. What are your final words? You have been the engineer with your team behind this. What do you want to say to the customers out there?
I just want to say, I know for some of small businesses, this is very difficult time.
Mm-hmm.
This is not the traditional, business as usual. And so what we looked at was, I think it was said in some of the past episode or series, was that never miss a chaotic moment, right? You just have to take on the opportunities where they came. And I think it's in two parts. One for the customer, and then also for us as business operators. And it changed the direction on what we wanted to do to provide them with a solid solution. Mm-hmm. We understand that there's a problem, and what we want to do is we want to meet that need, and that's important. I think it becomes, we get a different level of customer service when we meet the customer at solving the problems, the bigger problems that they have. And so when we talk about finally those three pillars, providing always more value, what our bundles have definitely done, and we continue to do, because like I said earlier, they're stackable and we will be stacking on more. Providing always connectivity, what obviously the blazing speeds would allow. And then finally, always by your side, which you see our business class support service would definitely do. And, you know, our team, like Naja said, they're so energetic and ready to just come to meet you where you are and help you get your business where it needs to be.
Wow, thank you so much. Simple to deploy, simple to understand. More value, more connectivity, always by your side. We'll be right back after this commercial break.
Enjoy all the extra perks of BTC's new business mobile plans. Every new line added includes a free new smartphone packed with unlimited local calls, international and roaming minutes, plus local and roaming data to stay connected to your business. Sign up and switch now for as low as $49.99 per month and get handset discounts for life. Have your team do more and work smarter on the best 4G LTE network with BTC's new business mobile plans. Conditions apply. Enjoy all the extra perks of BTC's new business mobile plans. Every new line added includes a free new smartphone packed with unlimited local calls, international and roaming minutes, plus local and roaming data to stay connected to your business. Sign up and switch now for as low as $49.99 per month and get handset discounts for life. Have your team do more and work smarter on the best 4G LTE network with BTC's new business mobile plans. Conditions apply.
And we're back now, and we have in studio Eric Carey from the Bahamas National Trust. Eric, it is so good to have you in studio. This is some interesting times.
Absolutely.
Well, I'll tell you, before we get into the details of the conversation about, you know, small businesses, and we're going to find out just a little bit more about the Bahamas National Trust in this feature film.
My name is Eric Carey, and I'm the Executive Director of the Bahamas National Trust. I've been with the Bahamas National Trust since about 2003, but I had worked with the Trust many years before that when I was with the Department of Agriculture. The BNT is the National Park Service, so we manage your national parks. Currently, we manage 32 national parks, 2.2 million acres, and we span from Walker's Key way up north, all the way down to Inaugural in the south, and a lot of islands in between. Our national parks serve the purpose of obviously protecting the natural resource. As an example, the Inaugural National Park was established to protect the West Indian flamingo. That brought that species, which was on the brink of extinction, from about 5,000 birds. They protected an area, stopped hunting, hired wardens, created a national park, and 60 plus years later, that is now one of the greatest conservation success stories of the 20th and now heading into the 21st century. So just like any other business, for nonprofits, COVID-19 has had a devastating impact. Initially, we depend on funding from corporate Bahamas or foundations or individuals and through philanthropy. COVID-19 hit, everybody was trying to figure out, one, what's happening, and then secondly, how am I going to survive? So nonprofits were really not the focus initially, except of course we started understandably focusing on, as a country and as a planet, people who weren't getting food and people who were losing their homes. So human welfare and human interests, those were the causes that got the interest. But gradually people started to realize that the environment is still very, very important. And so a number of our donors, including corporate Bahamas, started stepping up to the plate. The Bahamas National Trust has had a long relationship and productive relationship with the Bahamas Telecommunications Corporation. You know, BTC has sponsored BNT events. They've sponsored some of our competitions. They were involved with us with the conservation campaign. So yes, we've had a long relationship. And our staff were dependent upon technology to be able to communicate. And without a stable communications platform, I think that would have made it much more difficult for us as an organization to stay productive. So technology has been very important, and having access to technology, especially in places like Inaugural, Andros, Abaco, where we have staff, Grand Bahama, has been absolutely important. So we have depended heavily on BTC to be able to keep us connected with our colleagues and our donors and our partners, you know, throughout the Bahamas and, let's face it, around the world.
Eric, welcome again in studio. Let me tell you that if there's two things that I'm missing on my agenda, it is going to be Wine Festival. It is going to be Jollification. All of these events that really support some of the work that you have been doing at the Bahamas National Trust. I'm going to miss seeing your face as I walk into the gate, sometimes in one state and walk out in another state. But we'll leave that alone for today. But, you know, tell me, COVID-19 has really impacted not only the world, but also our little archipelago. Mm-hmm. How has this been for the Bahamas National Trust, you in the position of executive director? You know, tell us a bit about the pivot that you've had to make.
Well, thank you. Really want to thank BTC for having the BNT here. You know, we have had to pivot. It's been scary, you know, for any business, whether you're nonprofit or for-profit. COVID-19 and the realities that it has brought us, it's just been scary. So for us, we went into initial, you know, financial shock because, again, donors were focusing on trying to keep food in people's mouths and keeping people in their homes, et cetera. So, you know, we understood that and we just had to battle through. We cut expenses. We had to put staff on, we had to lay off staff. All other staff went on reduced hours, you know, to just try and get through, you know, on an even keel in a very rough sea. Then, fortunately, the government of the Bahamas, our best friends right now, Marlon Johnson and Peter Turncrest, the Honorable Peter Turncrest, because they understood the importance of the environment in keeping the Bahamas National Trust afloat. The environment is what the Bahamas depends on. And when we start to recover from COVID-19, it's going to be the family islands, as we've talked about, and we've seen a lot of reference to this in the report from the Economic Recovery Committee. We've been in discussions with the Ministry of Tourism, the Bahamas Out Island Promotion Board. The family islands are going to be really important. And what's important in those family islands are the environment, our national parks, outdoor spaces, because people can go into these places and feel a sense of natural social distancing, feel a sense of being just safe, fresh air that they can breathe, et cetera. So the work of the Bahamas National Trust was deemed important by first the government, and then some of our donors, some of our really close friends called us up and said, look, we understand how important the work of the Bahamas National Trust is to the future of the country and the future of the Caribbean, because the work that the Bahamas National Trust does, it doesn't just impact, you know, the Bahamas locally. I mean, we impact fisheries and fisheries replenishment. Our bird conservation projects impact the rest of the region. So people were reaching out to us, saying to us that we need to help the Bahamas National Trust stay afloat. Some of our donors who had given us funding for restricted projects reached out and said, hey, we know you need cash. We know you need to keep your people employed, because if our people are not employed, we can't do the work. So we were able to get through with the support of the government, our friends and donors, our members that renewed their membership, even in difficult times. Our memberships have kept coming in. And, you know, we've planned, you know, additional fundraising, including a virtual Park Fest event, which can't ever replace wine and art and jollification. But from the 16th of November until the 22nd, there's a week of a virtual fundraising platform where our regular vendors and some of our key sponsors are going to be involved in some exciting stuff. Our team is going to release information on that starting early next week, but that's going to be, unfortunately, you won't be able to come to the retreat and enter in a state and leave in another, but people will have the opportunity to still enjoy the spirit of why those events are important to supporting the work of the Bahamas National Trust.
Definitely, and I hope I would be able to drive past the actual gate and pick up a purchased kit, so that I can take that kit home and log on to the virtual space so I can have the same experience.
My team is listening.
That's a great idea.
No, it's because there's some wines that's there that I would love to see.
Absolutely.
I always know at the Wine and Art Festival there are jams and cheeses and dips, and if you get me a kit, I'm going to pay my membership. And I'm also going to pick up my kit, and then I'm going to come home, set my little table and join you all in the virtual space.
No, that's a great idea.
Awesome.
And my team is listening, and I'm sure they've made a note of that.
They've made a note.
We always take good free advice. Thank you.
Yeah. And I want to talk about non-for-profits, right? Because when we think about small and medium businesses, sometimes we forget the importance of non-for-profits. Yeah. And, you've made that pivot, but there are some other non-for-profit organizations that are out there. What is some advice and recommendations would you give them, about supporting, getting support, getting the additional funding, reaching out to their base, or extending their base also internationally? What is some advice?
Well, the thing I would say is to reach out to your friends, the people that liked you and supported you before COVID, understand and still believe that your mission is important. So reach out to those donors, let them know that, hey, we're still here, we still have needs, our work is important. So we've had success in doing that. I was reading my friend Sean Ingram in Wonaloothra.
Sean's a great guy.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Sean has had great success over the past couple of months because they've continued to reach out, as we have, to our friends and our donors to convince them that our work is still important. So yes, there would have been an initial shock, obviously, where people tried to figure out what to do, but people will respond. Your donors will respond because they believe in your mission. They believe in your work. So you keep reaching out. You keep doing what you're doing. You may have to do some cost-cutting measures. You may have to do a little bit of course correction, but you can still survive because the nonprofit sector in the Bahamas is critically important. They provide services, whether it's the Bahamas Humane Society or the Cancer Society of the Bahamas or the Ranfurly Home for Children. All that work is really important and it needs to be supported. So I encourage them to reach out to their donors, and I encourage corporate Bahamas. I know things are tough, but these people are supporting elements of society that are really important, whether it's the environment like we do, or some other thing, someone working on feeding the homeless, etc. The causes are important, and we all need support because we are really a part of this incredible mix that drives the Bahamas forward.
Outside of donations, of financial donations, what can friends of BNT do right now to support some of the work that you're doing? There's beach cleanups, there's so many different things that people would have done before. What can they do now?
So, we're hoping that, when beaches and parks are open, we encourage people to visit places like the Retreat or the Primeval Forest here in Nassau. On the Family Islands, we encourage people to visit places like the Leon Levy Native Plant Preserve in Eleuthera and Grand Bahama, the Lucayan National Park. So visit a national park, do yourself a favor, help the BNT because that provides funding.
The national parks right now are open.
Not in New Providence, obviously, but certainly in Eleuthera, Grand Bahama, the Exuma Keys Land and Sea Park, Inaugural, etc. We encourage people as things start to normalize and you want to get out of New Providence, maybe take a trip to one of these family islands. We would love to show you the Blue Holes in Andros, the Abaco Pirates, the Flamingos in Inaugural, so that you could get to learn and appreciate the natural beauty of this country and why it's important to do the work that we do. We also have opportunities for volunteering. So we're going to be running a lot of virtual education platforms. So, people who know that space can certainly contact our education department. We're going to be doing cleanups, work in our national park, maintenance, etc. So opportunities to lend support there as volunteers. If you don't have treasure, time is also very valuable. So we do depend on volunteers. So there are any number of opportunities that you can take advantage of to volunteer, with the Bahamas National Trust.
And I know we have some listeners out there who, potential brides and grooms and, who might want to use the outdoor space as an opportunity, even if it's 10 people or 20 people based on social distancing. Is that something that's still open and available?
Absolutely. Once the retreat is open or the primeval forest, using, we've developed very strict COVID-19 protocols. We've followed the guidelines that the Ministry of Tourism has developed, very strict guidelines, because we want to get people into these spaces, but we want them to do it safely. So yes, we have very strict protocols, great sanitizing. We keep people distant, and you can be socially distant in any of our outdoor spaces for your wedding or your engagement party, whatever. Small groups, we're able to accommodate you safely in our national parks.
And, you talk about, the rest of the region. Some of the species that we have here, they travel like us.
Absolutely.
They visit other islands within our Caribbean region. And we also have, some of our viewers who are from the different markets, inclusive of Barbados, Jamaica, Turks and Caicos Islands. The key to it is that there's so much in our local, cities, towns, and countries that we can see and go out there and see, especially under these COVID conditions, that the encouragement is to go and get to know the place that you live in.
Absolutely.
You might not have been there before. In the midst of COVID, you probably need to take a moment to reflect. And I will tell you some of the places that I've been in our natural parks, just walking, through the mangroves. It's just such a beautiful, serene experience. But I have a question. We have these beautiful parks, and I'm looking at some of the footage as our viewers are on the screen, and that gives us a virtual experience. I've seen some of the work that you've done and listening to some of the videos when I used to work in the school system as a teacher years ago. Are we going to have more virtual tours that's going to be created so that our students and our, countrymen and women are able to actually see virtually what they might not be able to afford to see in some of our family islands?
Oh yeah, and getting back to the whole discussion about innovation, obviously, this virtual thing isn't going to go away whenever COVID-19 goes away. It's going to stay with us. It's not, I think so many people are going to embrace the virtual platforms. We're doing it for environmental education and awareness. We're going to be doing it for virtual field trips. We're going to do it for two reasons. One, to get you to experience it in the event you cannot go. And we're also going to use it to entice you to come and see what's really there. You get a virtual look at it, and then you go and take a look at the flamingos in Inaugural. So yes, we're going to be using the virtual space, the virtual platform, to share what is special about our environment. We're going to be using it, working with the Ministry of Tourism and the Bahamas Out Island Promotion Board to promote the Bahamas as a place to come and see incredible outdoor wildlife, marine life, birds, etc. So the virtual reality is that we're going to be encouraging people to experience the Bahamas through technology provided by BTC. And we hope to see a lot of people in our virtual space and then hopefully get them to come and experience.
And we're going to talk about this technology thing. But Eric, I don't know if she's any family to you because your names are very close. But Erica Stewart from Trinidad and Tobago says, wow, this National Trust is extraordinary, sending love from Trinidad and Tobago and fully in support of these initiatives. I mean, I'm telling you, what I'm seeing on the screen right now is making me salivate for an experience in the National Trust and to be able to just celebrate what we have as a country, but not only as a country, but what we share as a region, because there's so many spaces around the region that are just like ours.
Absolutely.
And so it's definite for us to not wait for, the tourists from from all of over the United States and Europe to capture these experiences, but for us to capture these experiences as well. Naja, any thoughts from you?
Oh, I'm just sitting here watching the videos and I'm going through like a wave of emotions because, you know, I think as human beings, we yearn to be outside.
Yeah.
There's a special connection to being outdoors. And so I just wanted to know, you know, there's all this talk around, you know, because there's so many, we had so many lockdowns and restrictions. I wonder if it had a positive impact on the environment in any way. Like,
I mean, I would say so. I mean, obviously, with I think the major thing is that there's certainly a drop in the carbon load because people aren't traveling as much. So definitely, there's been a little bit of a breather, literally, for the Earth because we haven't been, uploading as much carbon from burning fossil fuels. Wildlife has probably been not as molested as much. And so there, you see them now exploring spaces and coming into cities. But it's going to be short-lived. We will get back to our usual ways of impacting the planet in ways that are not sustainable. And I think we're going to have to be ready, those of us that work in the environmental space, whether it's NGOs or governments, to be prepared to continue to protect the environment. So yes, I think there'll be some temporary reprieves, but climate change and global warming and sea level rise and more frequent and more powerful storms, they're going to still be with us, and protecting the environment is going to be so much more important, just as it was before COVID-19. It's going to be just as important, and perhaps more so, because of a lot of people are going to want to go outside. And so, we may have more people actually going into outdoor spaces. So managing that impact is going to be really important so that we don't reverse any gains that we might have gotten,
Correct.
because of the reprieve of COVID-19.
So Eric, Prime Minister at any point could release the lockdown or lessen some of the restrictions, and these parks can be open. How do people, both within our region, some who are who are watching from so many other different countries, how do they reach out to the BNT to support, to schedule a visit, or to determine when you're going to be available to take them? Because I'll tell you, I've been over to the Levy Resort in Eleuthera, and another fantastic experience. I've been to Grand Bahama. I don't know what you call it, but I've gone to the mangroves in one of those boats, kayaked into the international park. Absolutely amazing. So just before we give you the opportunity to give final words, how can individuals contact you to find out information and support your work?
So, our main platform is bnt.bs. We just did our website. It's really powerful, attractive, easy to navigate. And you can find out there everything about what we do, and also about ways that you can support us, whether it's through volunteer opportunities, becoming a member, or making a bigger financial contribution as a donor. So bnt.bs. We're also very active on social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We have a really active social media team in the organization. So check out those platforms. You can learn everything about the BNT. You can learn about what the opportunities are to visit any of these places. And you'll get more than enough information. And then, we also, you can contact, if you want to send us an email at bnt@bnt.bs, we can answer any of your queries. But social media is probably the easiest way to reach us and find out ways that you can support the BNT.
Thank you so much, Eric. bnt.bs. And more importantly, thank you for helping to keep our country green. Ladies and gentlemen, right after this commercial break, we're going to hear from Caroline Greene from Gigi Browse. And so stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Picture this: internet for your bakery to receive orders online while customers share your goodness on the spot. Unlimited mobile calls to talk to all the business you need, and data to do business anywhere. BTC Business understands the big picture and has a small business solution with big value for you. Go digital with fast internet, unlimited local calls, data, smartphone discounts, and more for as low as $99 a month. Visit btcbahamas.com to sign up now. Conditions apply. Picture this: internet for your bakery to receive orders online while customers share your goodness on the spot. Unlimited mobile calls to talk to all the business you need, and data to do business anywhere. BTC Business understands the big picture and has a small business solution with big value for you. Go digital with fast internet, unlimited local calls, data, smartphone discounts, and more for as low as $99 a month. Visit btcbahamas.com to sign up now. Conditions apply.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm so inspired by the work of the BNT. I was looking at some of the pictures, Naja, of, just the sights and the flamingos and the kayaking. But, we have so much time to discuss that. I know that we have Caroline that's in studio with us right now. Virtually, brows are on point, looking absolutely amazing. Caroline, we're going to come right over to you, but welcome to the Bahamas virtually. Welcome to Trinidad and Tobago virtually. Welcome to Turks and Caicos virtually. Welcome to Jamaica virtually. So many of our markets are here watching you and watching the fantastic story that you're going to tell us. And I'm certain that many of them have so many questions. So we're going to go over to your intro video and then pop right over to you. Okay.
So do I look?
International speaker, Caroline Greene. Celebrity makeup artist and eyebrow expert. Topic: how to pivot in a post-COVID world. Caroline Greene, professionally known as Gigi, is Atlanta's prominent celebrity makeup artist and eyebrow definition expert. Gigi was trained under Anastasia Beverly Hills in LA and Kelly Baker Brows. Some of the reality shows and movies that she's worked on include The Braxton Family Values, Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, Cutting It in the ATL, The Duff, The Nice Guys, and Almost Christmas. Gigi has also launched her eyebrow kit, makeup line, and makeup tutorials.
Gigi, welcome to the Bahamas. How are you? So we were just having a slight audio issue there. Let's just try this again. Welcome to the Bahamas. If you can check your mic to determine that it's not muted.
Sorry, I was muted. Hey, everybody.
There you go. You were muted, but looking absolutely amazing. How are you?
I'm good. I'm super excited.
There you go. Well, I'm certain that our audience are very excited to hear from you. It is an absolute pleasure to have you join us virtually. Hopefully, after this COVID-19 pandemic is over, we'll get to meet you in person. So I'm going to give you an opportunity to share with us. And then I'm certain that after you're done sharing with us, our virtual audience will have probably a myriad of questions for you in reference to what you do and recommendations for how they can do what you do, or even something else on the scale that you're doing it. So over to you, Gigi.
All right. Well, hello, everyone. My name is Caroline Greene. I also go by Gigi. I got started as a makeup artist first. My entire family, so Mary Kay. So I fell in love with makeup at the age of 5. I always knew I wanted to do makeup, but I'm from St. Louis, Missouri. So most people work in like for Ford or General Motors, or they worked at the post office. So no one looked at any other opportunities. So when I would speak of becoming a makeup artist, people say, oh, that's not possible. You can't do that. You have to work, for General Motors or the post office or things like that. But I just still stayed motivated inside of myself and just knew that that's what I wanted to do. Me and my mom then relocated to Atlanta, Georgia, and I can actually see Black people doing good, having their own businesses, having an open mind to where this was something that I could really do. And so I started working in retail. I worked at Nordstrom, Neiman Marcus, Saks Fifth Avenue. I started freelancing for MAC Cosmetics. And when you worked at MAC, it was like a big deal. People really trusted you as a makeup artist. And so once I started doing that, people started coming like, hey, you want to work on this video shoot? Would you like to work on this wedding? And that's how I got into doing music videos. And from music videos, that's how I got started working on reality TV shows. So it was amazing. I really enjoyed freelancing, working on the shows, but my main goal was to work in the movie industry, which is very, very difficult to break into because it's totally different from reality TV world. They're not the same, totally different people. So I moved to LA, and it was so hard in LA because it was so expensive. I had a roommate. I'm working like 3 jobs to pay my bills. And that's where this person that you see in front of you was born, because I was like backed up in a corner, and I was like, okay, either you're going to stay here or you're going to blossom into like a flower. So when I came back to Atlanta, my head was on straight. I was in the game. I hit the ground running. That's when I started working on all these shows. I started meeting more people. And then one of my associates introduced me to a producer, started talking to him back and forth. And years later, we worked on a movie together. But I say all that to say this, is that I never gave up. I had faith in myself. I kept going, kept perfecting my craft. Once I finally made it to working on movies, I realized that wasn't what I wanted to do. So I went through all of this stuff, and I was like, oh, this is not what I want to do. You're working on set for 13, 14 hours a day. Sometimes you're working on a movie for 2 to 3 months. You don't have any type of social life. Yes, you are making money. You are making a lot of money. But for me, I have to do things that I'm passionate about, things that I would like to do regardless if I'm making money or not. So even though I love doing makeup, I just felt like it was something else I could do with my time than being there 14, 16 hours a day and probably only touching the artist one time in that day. So I was still freelancing, because even if you're working on a movie, you're not guaranteed to work on the next project. So I was still freelance for MAC. I was still freelance for Dolce & Gabbana. And then one of my friends was saying, hey, you want to freelance with Anastasia? I was like, sure. And she was like, do you have a license? I said, yeah. She was like, great. So you can actually wax eyebrows, because the other girls that I hire, they can only just fill in the brows and use the products. So once I started doing that, I fell in love with eyebrows. So I was like, ooh, this is what I want to do. I want to become a brow boss. I want to do eyebrows. I'm really going to learn how to do this. And I want to open up a brow bar. Now, when I'm talking to my friends and different family members, people are like, who's going to come to you? Like, everybody already goes to the nail salon. Everyone already, goes to threaders. Like, no one's going to come to you. And I was just like, I feel like they would. I feel like they only go there because they don't have any other options. So I didn't let that get me in my feelings or make me try to do something else. I just wanted to perfect doing eyebrows, and I just stayed the course. Because I worked for Anastasia, I asked if I came to LA if I could get trained by her, and they said yes. And so that's how I got trained by her. Now, that's not a thing that they do, but that's like the Virgo in me. I'm very persistent. So I got trained by her. And then I also took Kelly Baker Brows class. And let me tell y'all, when I got back to Atlanta, I was doing my mama, my friends, my cousins, my boyfriend, and I just really perfected it. And once people start asking for me at the counter, I knew it was time for me to step out on my own. Now, I just completely quit my job, and I wouldn't recommend no one doing that unless you have like a good savings. But I just completely quit. I work really well under pressure. So I built my clientele the grassroots way, which is business cards, flyers, going to events, putting my makeup on, looking cute, telling people to refer their friends, and I would give them a discount. So once I started to build up my clientele, I just was really excited, but I was afraid to leave the salon that I was working at and open up my own business. And I just had to keep praying about it, because I know it was time for my own space. And in 2016, I finally got my own brow bar, which was my dream and my goal. And when I tell you guys, like, my business tripled when I moved. So it was like the best decision that I made. But I feel like as an entrepreneur, we sometimes fear the unknown, even though we know like it's a goal and it's a dream. Sometimes we're afraid to move. And I feel like you just have to move. You have to take the chance. You have to take the risk. You have to have faith. You have to believe. And that was the best decision that I made. Now, my goal, my prayer was just to make enough money to support my lifestyle. So I just wanted to have a nice clientele. I never thought of being like the it girl in Atlanta or anything like that. I just wanted a good clientele, be consistent, and be able to be fabulous, live a nice lifestyle. Well, what ended up happening is, with me doing eyebrows and people loving my work, I attracted celebrities. They just really loved the way I did eyebrows. So whenever someone would come in town and work on a movie, because now Atlanta is like Black Hollywood, that, you know, they come in town. I'm working on Lynn Whitfield when she's here doing Greenleaf. I'm working with Missy Elliott. Like, it's just amazing the people that I get to work with, because these are people that I am fans of. And so I just never thought being a brow expert would have me working with some of my favorites. So that happened. And then people would ask, hey, do you teach classes? And I used to teach makeup classes. And so then I started teaching brow classes. Then I started doing one-on-one classes. Then I started touring. My first tour kicked off in New York. This was in 2016. So I've been teaching for a minute now, and I love it. I feel like a lot of people are in transition stages because of COVID. They're getting laid off, they're getting furloughed. So people are ready to learn a skill and a trade and go in a different direction. So I feel like right now it's even more popular for people to want to learn this technique. When COVID happened, we shut down for 2 months, and it was just like, wow, like the world stopped. It was just like, what are we going to do? Because here in Atlanta, I still had to pay my rent at my home. I still had to pay my rent here at the salon. So I had a nice savings, but who wants to spend their whole life savings on paying someone else? So I had to think about, what can I do to make money without actually having my hands on someone? So I did develop products for women of color. I formulated my own cream wax because our skin is totally different from other ethnicities. We have very sensitive skin. So the complaints that my clients would talk about is having like really red, scars, bumps on their brows, but it would go down like later that day. So with my formula, you're not going to be really red. You're not going to have bumps, and it's not going to be as painful. So I formulated that in 2018 and I released it in 2019. Then I also came out with my own wax warmer to go with it, which looks like this. And you put the wax can right inside of here. So I'm saying all that to say this, like, I never thought that I would be doing all of this in this field. Everything just came organically and naturally. And I'm happy that I did it because it was something that was needed for African-American women. When I would teach my classes and show them my products, everybody in the class would cry because it was just inspiring and very motivating to them to see African-American women not only be successful, have her own product line, teach classes, but create something for them, and to know that they can do that too. Whatever I can do, they can do it as well. So now getting back to the online. So I focused on my online sales during COVID. I started promoting, doing videos, doing my eyebrows with pencils and concealers. I also did a video using my wax. And when I tell you guys, like, my online sales went crazy during COVID because people were still making money. They were still working from home remotely. So people still were making money. So I was able to survive because of my online sales. I also have an online master brow class, which teaches everyone how to wax, tweeze, tint, and brow map. I also have a brow lamination online class, which teaches people the latest technique, which is a brow perm that makes your eyebrows look extra fluffy. Those sales went up. So I think we're moving into a digital world. So even though I already had the online store, I already had the online classes, they didn't really thrive until the pandemic happened. And I've never seen the sales this high before, even now. So I was able to pivot that way. I started a YouTube channel. So I just started really focusing more on e-commerce, my online classes, adding more classes, and even doing small meetup groups on Zoom with people who just wanted information about getting into the business, how to maintain their business, how to go about getting business credit. So that's how I was able to pivot during what's happening right now.
Let's talk about this, Gigi. You raised such an important point, and we started to talk about this last week. So many young entrepreneurs, period, are challenged with this whole idea of startup credit and, capital to really move their businesses. But also, there's the challenge of, do I have to open up a storefront, or, do I use the e-platforms in order to move my business? Is it more concierge? So give us some guidance around that. And then I have a key question for you after that.
Okay, so I would always recommend anyone that is just getting started to start off in a salon setting. That way you can be on commission, so you don't even have to worry about paying booth rent. You want to first build up a clientele, then move to booth rent. And then once you're able to do booth rent, then I would recommend moving into a salon or storefront, because at that point you already have your clientele. So I wouldn't want you to automatically go into a storefront or clientele, because now you're working backwards. You have to get clients, you have to do this, you have to do that. So start off in a salon setting, build your clientele, then go into a suite, then go into a salon.
So my other question, I always hear this statement made, beauticians and barbers are becoming like lawyers.
Yes.
There's so many in the country. What do you say to an individual who might just be, just starting out, or an individual who might have been in corporate world but always had the passion to do the kind of work that you're doing? Should they take that on, or should they understand that there is room for them in the business?
Oh, it's definitely room for them in the business. They should definitely take it on. What I do is a trade. It's a learned skill. So even if they don't have a background in makeup or a background in doing eyebrows, this is something that they can learn, and something that they can perfect, and something that they can start their own business with, for sure. So I would tell them to definitely go for it, because now is the time.
And that brings me to another question. So you came out of an area that's like an industrial, those particular states are big on industry, but not necessarily industry in beauty trades and some of the more innovative and creative areas. And then on top of that, I'm hearing your discussion with your parents and your family members when you started to tell them the direction that you wanted to go. And in the last few weeks, one of our international speakers, much like yourself, talked about family members and friends sometimes being like straitjackets. So, you have these people who tell you what you cannot do, and then you tell yourself that you can't do it based on other people's expectations. What suggestions, advice, nuggets would you give to our virtual listeners or viewers about how to overcome this?
My advice would be, I feel like your family and your friends, when they are telling you this, I don't feel like they're trying to say it in a negative way. That's the limitations that they have on themselves. So they're projecting it back onto you because they would be afraid to do that. So I don't necessarily look at them as trying to be mean or say like you can't do it, but it's their fear projected on you. So if you feel like this is something that you can do, I feel like you have to go with your feelings, because it's not about them. It's about you. And when God gives you a vision, the vision is for you. It's not for other people to see. So you have to just trust and believe and have faith in yourself that God gave you this vision. It is for you. You just have to walk down the road and take care of it. And then they'll see later like, oh my gosh, you did it. And they'll be happy for you.
So the other thing that comes up, you talk about your experience in retail, working for Mac and, doing some contractual work. You also talk about that idea of pivoting in terms of, movies. in your mind was exactly what you aspired to do and aspired to accomplish. And then you did it and you found out, that's not exactly the direction that I want to take. I want to know two things because I think it's going to help our viewers. One, when you got to the point of realizing that something that paid well was not exactly something that brought you joy, how did you know that? And what steps did you take to move away from that? And the second portion of it would have been, in some of our countries within the region, for you, it would be working for GMC, it would be working for the post office. In our countries, in particular the Bahamas, most families are encouraging some of our creatives to go out there and get a 9-to-5 job or to go out there and get a government job. How did you resist not working at the post office, not working at GMC, not working at any of those establishments and following the passion that you had for the creativity that was in you? And then how did you move all of this forward?
So I feel like once I got the opportunity to work in the film industry, my very first week, I was super excited. I was on a high because it was so difficult to get there. Now,
you had arrived.
I had arrived. Now, once that went away, I was just like, okay, I feel like all my time is here and I'm supposed to be doing much more and being on my time. So I realized that, yes, I'm making money, but I'm thinking about other things. So I'm really not happy because I'm not happy sitting here. I'm thinking about what else is for me. What else am I supposed to be doing? I wasn't content. I didn't feel, I didn't wake up like ready to go to work. So I knew that that wasn't for me. And think about talking to my coworkers. They're like, all this money we're making and you talking about doing eyebrows, that's crazy, right? So even with that, but I just wasn't happy. And for me, I can't do anything that I'm not passionate about, that doesn't bring me joy. I would just not be a happy person. I wouldn't be able to move like that. So I quit. I stopped doing it. And that's just the type of person that I am. I can't do things that I'm really not interested in, even if you're making all of this money. I'd rather be happy than just have money in the bank. So I took the risk of leaving something that's paying all this money to quitting and starting from the bottom. And now I make way more money than I made working on set, right? And then also your second question was coming from St. Louis and doing all of that. I just knew, look at me, like I can't work at the post office. I got lashes on, I got a beat face, I'm not working on no cars. So I just knew like, that's not for me. And, if you guys want to work there, that's fine. But I just knew that it was more for me and that I was supposed to be in the beauty industry. I just felt it. I just knew it always came towards me. It was like I manifested it. So I just knew that just to stay the course and something would happen for me. And it did. That's why I know God is real. God is real because that's how I'm sitting right here right now. I prayed about it. I always stay persistent. I'm really big on continuing education. So anytime it's a new technique, I'm going to travel and learn how to do it. That's just the type of person that I am.
So I know we had a discussion about you doing contracts for MAC and doing contracts for a number of other brands. Do you currently work with any major makeup brands, and how did you form that partnership?
So right now, I don't currently work with any of the brands because now I have my own brand.
Come on now.
So yeah, I have my own brand, Gigi Brows. And we have brow pencils, highlighter pencils, lip glosses. Like we have so many products, and we're gonna launch more during Black Friday. So right now I'm more so focused on my brand. And I don't have the opportunity to really do makeup right now, but if my clients let me know in advance, I'm able to take them. But like I'm booked out the rest of the year. So it's hard for me to do both because eyebrows are just a big deal. And I feel like it's really popular now because we have to wear the mask. So the only thing that people can see is your brows and your lashes. So I'm just so booked with that. But I do partner with different companies to promote my products and my brand. Like I'm on a National GoDaddy commercial, and they wanted to promote in their commercial how people were pivoting as taking their business online. So they showed my online class, they showed, my products to show that just because you can't be in your salon or in your salon suite, it's people online still being able to make a living. So I'll partner with different companies like that.
So I want to throw two more questions. You have people who might be in the region right now who are watching that's interested in some of your products. How would they be able to access those products? And of course, when you started, you were working with MAC at the time, but
Yes.
You might have some beauticians who are watching right now who might want to be contracted by Gigi Brows, who might want to do some work or use that product. How would they be able to, one, be trained by you, to be certified by you, and also to access those products in some of their studios now?
So what they could do is they can visit my website. It's www.ggbrows.com. I also have my online classes available on my website, and they will be certified right after they take the class. They could also purchase products from my e-commerce site, which is on the website as well. So those are the ways that they could learn from me and purchase products from me.
So I want to touch base on some of the products that you've created. Brow perm. I've learned something absolutely new today. I didn't even know it was possible. But in the midst of this, discussion about products, what process did you go through to create the products? And also, how did you have these products to the point where they are ready for market, they are approved? What certifications did you go through to get them to be market approved?
So
You're good. I can see you. I can see the brows and the lashes.
Okay, you asked how I got started with my own products?
Correct. And what process did you go through? I'm sure that there is some sort of licensing, copywriting.
Yes.
There's so many different elements. What should people consider when they're doing this type of work in order to be able to put it on the international market?
Okay, so when I first got started, I first came out with products in 2017, which were brow pencils and highlighter pencils. When I started off private labeling because you didn't have to order a lot, and they would basically just put your logo on the product, right? So you really didn't have any creativity as far as creating your own, right? You're just putting your logo on the products and selling it. Well, 2018 is where I started working with a chemist, which is totally different because now you are coming up with your own formulas and you're making something on your own. So that's where I'm at with my business right now. So I formulated my wax, I formulated my highlighter pencils because I realized that even with private labeling, they didn't have highlighter pencils for darker complected African-American women. And I wanted all of my clients to be able to have a highlighter pencil that would just go well with their skin. So recently I've been working with chemists to develop my own products, which is way more expensive. Of course, I have a patent. My brand is trademarked. So it's a lot, but to me, it's worth it. It's very expensive, but I feel like it's worth it at the end of the day because it's mine.
So what I'm hearing here, Gigi, is first of all, have a patent.
Yes.
Second of all, one of the things you talked about was self-investment, the idea of copywriting the material, the brand that you have, putting that out to market. But I think it calls for that idea of collaboration as well. Your story is truly inspiring. I'm here in my mind thinking about the little girl watching her aunts or, selling Mary Kay to now creating brow perm and a wax warmer. And so any final words for our our virtual guests, words of encouragement, how you've stayed motivated, and just some thoughts that you have as you bring this to a close.
I feel like my words of motivation for people who are watching is that to just get started. I feel like a lot of times we procrastinate. We think that we need to have everything in order to get started. And I feel like just get started where you are. Start exactly where you are. If you have a good idea, if you're very skilled at doing hair, makeup, or nails, start taking before and after pictures of your friends and your clientele. Really promote yourself on social media, Instagram, Facebook. You can also get Facebook ads, Instagram ads. You can also put yourself on Twitter. It's just so many different ways you can market and promote yourself. And I just feel like you have to have faith. You have to believe in yourself and just know that you can do this.
Thank you so much, Gigi. And, I want to say to our viewers at home, get certified, keep yourself motivated. You would have been so kind to offer a 30-minute mentorship session.
Yes.
With one of our guests, and Danielle Miller is the winner of that session with you. So I'm sure that she will definitely enjoy that. So, at this particular point, be like Nike, like you said, just do it. Go out there and do it and start exactly where you are. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back after this commercial break.
Picture this: internet for your bakery to receive orders online while customers share your goodness on the spot. Unlimited mobile calls to talk to all the business you need, and data to do business anywhere. BTC Business understands the big picture and has a small business solution with big value for you. Go digital with fast internet, unlimited local calls, data, smartphone discounts, and more for as low as $99 a month. Visit btcbahamas.com to sign up now. Conditions apply.
Digital banking, online, RBC. RBC banking, online, pay your bills anytime.
RBC digital banking is so easy. Granny and Granddad can do it. Sign up for online banking or download the RBC Caribbean app.
With RBC, it's safe and easy. Send your money hassle-free. RBC.
Visit rbc.com/Caribbean/bank at home. RBC Royal Bank, banking reimagined.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're back, and today we have our special guest who's joining us virtually in studio, Latoya Westbrook. Latoya, welcome home.
Hi everyone. Good morning.
Good morning. I had the opportunity to read your bio and recognize that you have Bahamian heritage. And it's so exciting to have you, of course, in studio virtually, some of the fantastic work that you've been doing. I know our viewers have not found out all about you yet. So before we go any further, I'm going to take the opportunity to introduce our feature video on you.
Latoya Westbrook, Senior User Experience Researcher, Facebook. Latoya is a Senior User Experience Researcher at Facebook. She's passionate about eliminating the user's pain points and understanding their needs in order to design sustainable, human-centered solutions. Latoya has built the discipline of user research at several startups in NYC from the ground up, demonstrating its value company-wide. In addition to her role at Facebook, she's the principal consultant and founder of Westbrook Consulting Group, Incorporated. As an entrepreneur herself with over 15 years of experience, she knows firsthand the challenges that come with being a small business owner. Westbrook Consulting Group, Incorporated was created to teach entrepreneurs the foundation of their business is equally as important as the products and the services they provide. It does this by coaching small businesses into developing into better businesses, winning businesses. Latoya serves as the industry advisory board member for CUNY TechWorks.
Latoya, definitely such an impressive biography. I mean, senior researcher, UX researcher at Facebook. I'm certain that so many of our virtual viewers is thinking, one of my dream jobs. How do you get this experience? How do you, start your own company while being able to work with such an international company as well? So definitely, I'm going to turn it over to you to just, give us your advice, give us, just a hint for the next few minutes about how you got to where you got and what should other people be able to do to make it there as well.
First of all, I just want to start by saying thank you so much for having me, BTC, and all the other partners. I really appreciate it. A special thank you to Carol for inviting me to be a part of this program as well. I have such a special place in my heart for small businesses because I just know how much it has helped me. I've been in New York for the last 12 years. I grew up in Miami. New York is very expensive, and it got me through a lot of tough and challenging times. So I know what small business owners are going through, especially right now with the current state of the world. So I'm just here and happy to share, tips about social media and then also how to grow your small business. A little bit about me. So my background initially is in finance. Actually went to undergrad for financial services. I spent 10 plus years in finance. I worked at big banks like Citigroup, JP Morgan, and also an investment tech company known as Betterment here in New York. And once I got into tech, that's when I started to learn about research and user experience. And even though it's at a tech company, user experience can be used in any industry. Really what you're trying to do is understand your customer, understand their pain points, and then solve for those problems. And so I kind of developed those skill sets being a small business owner myself, which led me into tech. Worked at a few startups before I was actually recruited by Facebook. And there I really learned the business of how valuable, social media is, the things that we're doing behind the scenes to make social media, effortlessly used to grow your business and on a personal level. And even before I joined Facebook, I myself am what is considered a power user. I use social media all the time. So I'm going to share some tips about how to grow your business using Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, how to understand and know what your goals are, how to create a social media strategy, how to create a business brand, and also improve your personal brand because personal branding is really important. How to understand your target audience, tools that you can use to automate social media to help you with your small business because you're doing a lot, especially if you have a small team or it's just you. And then also, how to just get started and be consistent. I think that's the most important thing about social media.
Excellent. So, one of the key questions that I think individuals have, is, how is it that a small business can take social media and really blow their business up, not only from the country that they're in, but also around the region and by extension, the world?
You have to know your audience. Who are your followers? Who is going to purchase your product or your service? What do they need to know? How do they like to engage with you? And until you know that, it's like you're creating social media for what? And so I see some businesses, they have an account, there's no branding, there's no structure, there's no strategy, and they just share what they want to share. You have to always keep in mind, who are you sharing this post for? Who are you sharing this video for? What value are they gaining from it? And then that's when you'll start to see the traction. Also, you need to be engaged with your users. You can't just post something on social media and then look at it 2-3 days later or a week later. Get in there, like other people's posts, leave comments on their page, give them something that they can leave with. You really have to come up with a strategy. It's not just a fly-by-wind type thing. And so for any of you who might be struggling with your social media, whatever platform it is, I say just get a piece of paper and pen and write down, what are your goals? Are you trying to increase your sales? Are you just trying to get more followers, and get more followers for what? I think sometimes people just assume having a lot of followers means your business is successful, but I know a lot of people who have less than 10,000 followers and they're doing very well in business. So have a strategy, write it down. And if you yourself can't, think of what you should have of a social media strategy, and think about hiring a social media manager or a freelancer to help you with that process.
Tell us a bit more about this idea of user experience and what you do with user experience research and how that's able to help, businesses, how it's able to provide information.
Yeah, I mean, I think most people sort of know what it is. They just didn't know it was called UX research or user research. But if you've ever been recruited to complete a survey, or if anyone has ever reached out to you to say, hey, can I talk to you for 30 minutes and I'll pay you? That's a portion of what user research is. And so what I do is I speak to, I won't say at Facebook, but even with Westbrook Consulting Group, I might speak to businesses to see what is the problem that you feel like you're having with your business. So it's if people are coming to your website, you see the traffic, but they're not actually purchasing. So why are they not purchasing? Where is the disconnect? And so for that, I might want to speak to some of your users. I might have them share their phone screen and actually have them go through the process to see where they might be confused and ask them, why are they confused? Maybe it's the wording on your website that's not resonating. Maybe it's causing some confusion. Maybe you have some usability issue, meaning they click on a button and the button's not working. And instead of them trying to figure it out or emailing you for support, they just sign off your website. And so how many customers are you losing just because you're having technical issues on your website? So it's a lot more methods that goes into it, but that's essentially is an easier version of explaining what user research is and how important it is. Especially I see user research as a strategy, because if you're just building products, meaning technical products, or if you're a product-based business, if you're just launching new products and you haven't actually spoken to your target audience to see if that's something that they want, that they need, that they would purchase, then you're wasting money. And as a small business owner, that's something you can't afford to do.
So you've dived into, some of the work that you do in your consultant firm. What are some businesses that would have benefited from the work that you would have done, by virtue of your consultancy, or what type of businesses would have benefited from your consultancy business?
I can work with a gamut of different businesses. I've worked with chefs. I've worked with businesses who own fashion, like wear, tech companies, another company named Stature, which is like a male figure. So it really doesn't matter the industry. All businesses have challenges. And so my job is to go in there, see what the issue is and what can we do to solve it. So any business can benefit from user research and strategy and knowing your customer. And that is important to understanding what your social media goals are and like how to use social media to grow your business.
You speak about the idea of branding and how important branding is for some social media pages. Can you give people examples, some of our listeners, examples of, what they should use on these pages to be branded, to have branded?
Oh man, branding is so important.
You got really excited when we talk about branding.
It is so important. And I think that people don't even understand how important branding is. Especially if you're a small business owner and it's just you, so you're a solopreneur, you want to start with branding yourself, having a personal brand. What are people saying about you and your business when you're not in the room? How are you presenting yourself? So if you're just posting images that are not high quality images, are you posting videos of you just laying in your room on your bed? You have to, and then there's a way you can juggle both your personal branding and your business branding, but you have to make sure that you're telling a consistent story. And so if you just want to brand just your business, like if someone goes to your social media pages, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, wherever, YouTube, is it consistent? Do I see your branding colors across all platforms? Are you telling me your services are the same across all platforms? Can I find your website? What do you look like? What are you doing behind the scenes? If you have employees, what do they look like? What are they doing behind the scenes? Are they happy? So what branding is, you're telling a full picture story of, a little backdrop, passionate story of what you're packaging to potential customers, and are they buying that? So I think people really underestimate branding and really need to sit down and think, what does that look like? How much do you need to invest if you need to have a professional photo shoot? How much do you need to invest if you need to update your website? If you have an app or not, if you have mobile feature, is that looking nice? And are your images of your product on there presented well? Like really get down to fixing your branding, because that's the first thing that people see when they come to your business. I can't tell you how many times I've gotten new customers in my small business off my website and my social media alone, like without even speaking to me, just the way that my website looks, my headshot looks, my social media looks, I get clients who are booking me left and right. And so that's how strong branding is.
So, you talk about something that's so interesting, and I've had this experience myself. I go to a business and I'm going through the social media site, and I'm seeing more about the person and their personal lives than I'm actually seeing about the business. And so if I'm hearing you correctly, there has to be that split between what you do as a person and what your business does as well, and the image that you portray as a business owner.
Yes, it is not easy to have your personal and business on one page. I do it, but I've been working on my personal brand for many, many years. But some people don't want to see that. They don't want to see your weekend with your children or your friends, or you out to dinner. And so I do have a separate page just for my business. So you have to decide like how much of yourself you want to show. For me as a woman entrepreneur, I do find that women, prospective clients and customers relate to me because they like to see that I am engaged, that I have a stepdaughter, that I can hang out with my friends, but I also run a business. So I see more conversion rates with me sharing a bit more of my personal life. But I also have a business page where it's nothing about anything else but my business. And so if you're going to do both, I would say just be mindful. Like I still make sure I'm posting high quality images if it's on my personal page. I also like to do storytelling. So in the copy, I'm really strategic about what am I sharing. So yes, I might be sharing an image of my business or personal, but then I might have a question at the end of it because I want to create that engagement with my audience.
A dialogue.
Mm-hmm.
So another question I have, so there's so many applications that's out there that small business owners can use. If you had to give some suggestions of apps that small business owners should have in their toolkits, what would some of those apps be, and what should they be able to use those apps for?
Yes, actually, I'm going to pull my phone up. And I wrote it down too. I like to package everything. So let me see. I don't know if you can see it. I have all my apps in one little section.
There you go.
Of course, I'm going to say Facebook because I work there. Facebook is really good to use. It's probably the most worldwide used social media platform. I have Instagram on there. There's another app I use called Planly. It's so great for scheduling your social media. Let me see how to spell it exactly.
So does it schedule when pictures would drop?
Yes, pictures and video. So it's Planolly, Planly. And so what's Planolly. And what I love about it is that it also, you can see what it's going to be like before it posts. So that's me sharing the conference the other day. And so I can see if my image is too large for the screen and it's not all in one setting. So maybe I need to customize it a bit more or format it. So it gives you a preview, essentially what's going to post. What's good about that, and I really believe in understanding your metrics when it comes to social media. So I don't just share to share. I will look to see when my audience is the most engaged. And so for me, for my business, it's usually 6:30, 7 in the morning. People might be looking at their phone before they get ready to start their day. Also, maybe around 11:30, 12, because people might be on lunch or take a little break to scroll through their phones. Again, around 3:30, a little break midday from work. 6:30, and then for the late night people, 9:30. So you want to look at your metrics and understand. And in Instagram and on Facebook and on LinkedIn, you can actually click on metrics and see when you have the most engagement. And so that's when you want to post your content. And so with Planly, you can use that to schedule it out. So I might on Sunday spend 30 minutes and come up with 3 different posts and storytelling, and I schedule them all for the week. So I'm not on social media every day, all week.
Right. And, I'm happy you brought up LinkedIn, right? Because it's something that, a lot of small businesses, a lot of young professionals, period, go to LinkedIn looking for employment. But what I found, and I got checked on this last week by one of the speakers because I hadn't checked my LinkedIn in a long time. I mean, why am I going there? I have a job. I'm not looking for another job, right? But she mentioned to me, I sent you a message. I have yet to get a response from that message, or I sent you an ad. And when I checked it, I had over 5 messages looking for collaboration. So, and I thought that was so interesting. It's just not, a platform that's used for employment, but it's also a platform that we're able to use for, collaborative purposes between businesses.
I love LinkedIn, and I think it's a platform that is undervalued. And if once people get on it, they will just be like, "Oh my God, why wasn't I using this sooner?" I don't know what they have going on with their algorithms, but whatever you post, I mean, it lasts for weeks. And so I might post something on Monday, and I see people engaging on it a week, 2, 3, 4, 5 days later. You don't see that much engagement as long with Facebook and Instagram. Sorry,
Right.
I know I work there, but I do. I see that with LinkedIn. And then also people get to see you from a personal standpoint, and then you're top of mind. So if it's like, oh, I want to purchase this product, let me just go see if she's actually a person of value. Is she a reputable person? Is this a reputable business? And I'm going to check their LinkedIn page. And so I find sometimes I'm getting more messages on LinkedIn than I am getting emails. And so I have carved time out of my day, maybe twice a week, just to answer my messages on LinkedIn. Like I think 2 nights ago, I had like over 30 messages, and I took my time and responded to all of them. So don't let them go unanswered. It definitely can use to business opportunities, speaking opportunities. And if you're a small business, that's important. Like any opportunity can help you get press for your business. So use LinkedIn to work on and build your personal business, and then also like start sharing your business brand.
So I've gotten so far Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, Planoly, any additional ones?
Yes, Planoly, it's another feature called Stories Edit. So if you're doing the videos that disappear in 24 hours, you can also pre-schedule that. And then there's this other app that I like to use. It's called Mojo. I know it sounds a really funny name, but it's great if you want to create stories, but it's animated stories. So instead of getting like a videographer, you can actually like have words and have things go across the screen and add images. It's really good visuals, which I think is what you want if you want to keep like engagement with your customers or clients. And then also like recently, maybe a week or 2 ago, LinkedIn has now allowed stories features. So what I'll do is I can create a story and I will share it on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. So I make sure all 3 platforms are being covered, even though it's the same story.
Wow. So we have a couple questions. It's Latoya, as a small business owner, my funds are limited, but I want to promote my business. What are some of the cost-effective avenues that I can use on Facebook to promote my business?
Yeah, then that's definitely something that you're thinking about when you're a small business. As soon as you know like what your budget is and determine how often you want to use that budget, you can use that to either create an ad or you can use it to create a promotion of your post. And so I say use the budget for maybe an event or product that you really want to have high engagement. Also, you can think about using family, friends, or influencers. Like if that's an option, if you have a budget for that as well, where it's not just you sharing the message or product for your business, you can have other people speak on your behalf. If you know you have clients who support you and rally for you, like ask them like, hey, do you mind resharing that? And then if that's a family member, like, hey, you used it, you loved it, or you purchased my, from my bakery and you loved it, do you mind writing a testimonial and resharing that? So that's also like a low cost way to get the word out about your business or product, with also like without having to like always think about like, do I need to pay for this? So just, get creative on how you can get the message out for your business.
And not even writing a testimonial, but also recording it, via their story and tagging you in it would be ideal as well. One other question we have is, I have a few ideas for a small business. What advice would you provide to someone like me who don't know how to start?
So you have a few ideas. Really, it depends on if you're passionate, like if you need passion to move you. And so I say go with what you're most passionate about, because when things get hard and you're tired and you just want to sleep for the weekend, you need something that's going to keep you going. So out of that list of options that you have, see which one you're the most passionate about. Once you have the passion, the money will follow. So don't lead only towards money, because once you think of a strategy, you think of your branding, you think of colors, the money will follow. So lead with passion. That's just my take. I know some people think otherwise. They're like, go with the money. But I'm telling you, there will be some good times and bad times and challenging times when you're small business owners, and nothing's going to push you through that but passion.
So Latoya, we have Naja Finlayson, who's here in studio with us as well, and she's responsible for small businesses, the small business section of BTC. And of course, we have some of her colleagues from around the region who've joined us from some of the different markets. Naja, any particular questions? Or I'm certain that there's so many levels of agreement with what Latoya is saying, but any particular questions that stick out at you that you would like to have answered for some of your small business clients?
Well, as small business manager, you imagine I would have had conversations with many of my my and so now in this environment, I find that we're really pulling them into this digital age, screaming and kicking, because if you listen to the activity that's necessary on social media, it can sound a little bit exhausting, because it'll appear as if you have to be on all the time. First of all, you have to learn how to do it. And we're talking about a population, the majority of whom are not very technologically savvy, So we're going to have to teach them all of these things. So when I hear you talk about getting somebody to manage a social media page, that's something I think that would be more, for the majority of my customers, maybe that's something that we can suggest to them. I also was very excited when you talked about Facebook, LinkedIn, and sorry, what was the
Instagram?
Other one? Instagram.
Yeah.
Because one of our offers, our mobile offers, actually includes free advertisements on those 3 platforms. So we're actually taking that. Exactly. We're taking that away from them. We're doing that for them as well.
Excellent.
So it was very exciting to hear that. But we are going to talk to them more about actually upping their game on social media. And what you said today was very helpful. And the apps that you talked about, I'm also going to suggest those. I'm going to investigate those myself more, and then suggest those as well to my customers. So I found what you had to say today was very, very valuable, and it was very comprehensive, and I really appreciate that.
And Latoya, I have one question for you before we give you the opportunity to give some final words. We have so many social media influencers that's out there, and we have social media managers. I mean, that's an entirely new job that's come about in the last 5 or 6 years. Do you have any opportunities within your consultancy firm that there are virtual learning spaces that people are able to access some of your experience, some of your teachings on, 1, how to be a proper influencer, 2, how to effectively manage the pages of some of these small businesses who are on these different platforms, and yeah, those are the 2 sections, and then we'll give you the opportunity to give final words.
Yeah, so I actually do offer social media training sessions, similar to what I did here, but just even more way in detail. So it's usually like an hour long or so. So I've been doing that with small business owners, maybe some startups as well. And based on their need is how I tailor the conversation. Now, in terms of like finding different companies to support you in like doing social media management, there are tons of platforms that offer that. So that's something I'll share, like if a company like books me to help them with that package. But there are resources out there, and I always say, create a list of different companies so you can really research them. That's the user research side of me coming out. So I might choose 4 different social media managers, and I am evaluating them. Like, how quickly do they respond to my email? Do I need to follow up with them? Do they answer LinkedIn messages? No, just kidding. Also, I want to see how is their social media page? Like, are they thinking about branding and strategy? Are they consistent Or have they, like, I look on their page and maybe they post last week and the last time they posted was 6 months ago. So those are some things that I'm evaluating if I want to like move, if I were moving forward with a social media manager. I do it myself just because I enjoy it, but that's something I would tell small business owners, that those are the things you're looking for.
Okay. And final words?
Final words, I just have like 7 key points to keep in mind, you know, while you're going through this journey. I also want to encourage all the small business owners out there during COVID, you know, you will get through this. We've all been through worse, you know, and we always overcome that. Like, we're resilient people. But for one, know your goals. 2, create a social media strategy. 3, understand your metrics. 4, create a business plan. 5, create a business brand. 5, know your target audience. 6, automate your business. So those are some of the tools I was talking about: Planoly, Story Edit, Mojo. Automate your social media. And lastly, get started and be consistent.
Excellent, Latoya. And can you give your website address or your email if there are any businesses out there that's interested in your consultancy services that they might be able to reach you? And I think you've also given the opportunity for a 30-minute mentor session with one of our virtual audience members. So I'm going to get that winner in my ear very shortly.
Okay, yay, so excited. Yes, my website is westbrooksconsultinggroup.com. So that's Westbrooks with the S at the end. You can also find me on Instagram at Latoya Joy, and I have like all the hyperlinks from my personal page.
Excellent. And I'm certain that our small business owners have written that down. I'm so happy to report that the individual who has won a 30-minute mentorship session with you is Blossom Rupanarine. Blossom Rupanarine. And I hope I got that pronunciation correct. If I didn't, I apologize. Blossom, our colleagues will be reaching out to you to bridge you with Latoya so that you can organize that session. Latoya, let me just commend you for the fantastic work that you've been doing, and also for, you know, just sharing with us today and consenting to be a part of the Innovation Conference 2020. I wish you every success. And ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back after this commercial break.
Picture this: internet for your bakery to receive orders online while customers share your goodness on the spot. Unlimited mobile calls to talk to all the business you need, and data to do business anywhere. BTC Business understands the big picture and has a small business solution with big value for you. Go digital with fast internet, unlimited local calls, data, smartphone discounts, and more for as low as $99 a month. Visit btcbahamas.com to sign up now. Conditions apply.
Our CEO to kind of bring the vote of thanks, the closing, the charge for this 4th session. Power packed. I mean, just give me your thoughts about today.
I think so. Every week I say this. The week before was always great, and you don't think you can top that. But
right.
Every week we do so, and this was no different. I thought the speakers were amazing. I'm going to get back in touch with Eric as soon as I leave here. I was so moved by what he did and what he showed us. All the other speakers I thought were really, really great. And I think there was a lot of information that was imparted today that can actually assist our customers. I'm excited about our new CVP. I hope my team has been locked in and engaged the whole time we had the show, because there was a lot of information for them to even take back to our customers during our consultation. So today was great, as was last week, and I look forward to next week as well.
Well, I know that our residential customers are also going to have something. You know, it would be remiss of me to not state the fact that there's something that's cooking up for them. But I'll tell you this much: the B2B division, you know, they beat us to it. I mean, you guys, I heard Gary talk about it last week, but that bundle offer that you have with the mobile and the fixed services combined, it's just absolutely amazing. We've had some great speakers today. I thought Gigi just spoke about the organic entrepreneur. Eric, you know, I know Gary's probably hot on the line right now and going to join us soon, but I can imagine the same Christmas party with social distancing, of course, that we had last year in one of those national parks this year, so that we can make certain that all of the social distancing rules are applied. But I felt that in my spirit, and speaking that in his ear right now as he listens. And of course, Latoya, with social media, it's so vital and so important. And so many of the businesses out there, we want them to get yourself a social media manager, you know, with this wonderful bundle that you're going to get for the B2B space, whether it's in Barbados and one of their wonderful CVPs there, in Trinidad, or here in the Bahamas. There's something out there for every small business. You have heard the cry of the consumer and you've answered their requests. And so at this point, without any further delay, I'm going to invite Mr. Garfield Sinclair to come and bring his words. Gary.
Hey, thank you as usual, Darren, for hosting another incredible week 4 of our InKnowVation conference. I got to start with the vote of thanks as usual by thanking you for your energetic and passionate stewardship of this event. As usual, it was incredible. And it was made incredible again by the interaction, the intelligent and frank and open and insightful interaction between yourself, Naja there, obviously, and our incredible guests. So thank you again, sir, for being the host, like I keep saying, with the absolute most, right? So we had another super inspiring session again today, not the least of which was caused by the fact that we launched, as you just mentioned, Darren, our excellent SMB, small and medium business CVP. And that was very capably handled by Naja there and Tanil and yourself, and fantastic launch. I know our small business customers can't wait to dig into the details and talk to their account managers about how they can sort of get involved. And you look, the CVP is built around a couple of or 3 really key concepts, right? About always being connected, and you heard about the actual specific CVPs and the mobile component of that, you know, we're going to be able to offer. It's about always being by your side. So we're going to really step up our care and our capability for taking care of customers and making sure that we can always be by their sides, regardless of the channel, in order to solve whatever issues they might have. Or if they want to do some more buying, for instance. And then it's about always more value as well. So it's those 3 key concepts that we've thought to package together in order to deliver this very exciting SMB CVP. And it was really excellent to watch us launch that. So really great job again, Naja and Tanil, who I don't see, but thank you guys for doing an excellent job on that launch today. Really, really good job. Then obviously our super inspiring speakers. It was great to see Latoya Westbrooks from Facebook, right? Only one of the top 4 or 5 companies on the planet. And to listen to her impart all of her incredible knowledge about digital platforms in general, and social media more specifically. I know our listeners were able to glean some really good information and tidbits from that. So I really want to thank Latoya, and I hope Naja means it when she says she's going, you know, as soon as we get off here, hook back up and see if there are any more kernels of, you know, information we can get from Latoya to impart to our customers and teams on the ground. I want to thank celebrity makeup artist Greene as well for her hugely insightful contribution. And then obviously to Eric Carey from the Bahamas National Trust for joining us and giving Darren that great idea for part. You know, he is clearly enamored of. So, you know, I'm waiting to see his plan for figuring out how we can get together. You know, you don't have to tell me twice, Darren, about the need to get together and have a good time as a team, but we've got to observe protocol. So this may be a good way of doing that. So thanks Eric Carey for planting that seed among the other excellent bits of information that we got. Look, it's week 4. I think we've got 1 more week to go. We're only going to get better. We're building our audience. It's a multinational audience now throughout the Caribbean. And I just can't say enough about, you know, our teams on the ground, our BMC teams, our brand media and communication teams on the ground. People like Carol and her team members, Indira Kali and her team members, for pulling this off and making it as excellent as it's obviously been, not just for our internal teams and colleagues, but for our small, medium, and enterprise customers, we hope. So really looking forward, Darren, to your hosting the final week next week. It's going to be better than ever. I'm hoping our customers and our listeners and viewers will continue to tune in to what's been, certainly for us at BTC, a really inspirational experience. So thanks again, Darren. Thanks, Naja, for your co-hosting role. And we're really looking forward to next week. So see you soon.
There you go. Thank you so much, Carey. And don't worry, next week we're going to play the tone in preparation for that Christmas celebration, a holiday celebration that's going to happen, hopefully, at one of those national parks. You know how we do it. You know how we do it, Carey. It's going to be big. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, another successful conclusion to our fourth session in the Innovation Conference series. More care, more value, more connectivity. It's been my pleasure to walk you through today's proceedings, to connect with you, and to share with you the value that the speakers have been able to drop into your business, and most important, the care that BTC and all of the flow markets have for you. Once again, it's a pleasure to have you on board with us for the last 2 hours. I hope to see you next week, same time, same place, for another 2 hours where we're going to drop the tone and get ready for our celebrations, not only for what we have coming in a party, but also the success of your business. We'll see you next week. Same time, same place. Stay tuned.
BTC's Innovation Conference is back. And this year, we're giving you 5 opportunities to get in the know. Just starting a business or need help adapting to this trying time? Then join us every Friday during the month of October from 10 to noon, where we will be live online helping you discover new ideas and solutions from local and international experts to help you get your business moving despite the new normal. Register for free at btcbahamas.com/innovation conference. During every broadcast, there will be chances to win exclusive prizes that will push your business forward. We can't wait to share with you.